gross. Hello.
Hi.
Serious technological issues.
We're vertical today. I don't know.
Kind of weird. And we love each
Really
other. It's a
close.
good thing because, yeah, we got to be really close so you can see us. I think we're straight, too. For whatever reason, we've never had this happen in 3 years, and it's a brand new phone. Well, I say 3 years because we live stream since March 2020.
Yeah, I would go live vertical, but not horizontal. I tried it. I turned it off, turned it back on. I'm sorry.
The weirdest thing. We had a weird week anyway. It's just par for the course. Whatever. You got to roll with it. Let's make sure you guys can see us. It looks like y'all are popping on. So that's good.
First world problems. You keep reminding me.
I do. I keep reminding you. First world problems. It's a gift.
We're really close today.
It's okay. God just knew you needed a little extra love. So Amy's the president of her daughter's booster club for basketball, and they just had the Hoko parade.
That's all you gotta say.
That's all we need to say. A lot of stress.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Well, let's hop right into it because we're a little late. We apologize again. That was the weirdest thing that's never happened to us before.
2 weeks in a row, weird technology thing.
I know, right?
I think that God's telling us we gotta slow down.
Yes.
Maybe a little bit.
A little bit. We're almost done with week 2. Almost done with week 2, which is amazing because it rolls by so fast. And if you just stay committed for the 6 weeks, you'll be so thankful that you did. I wanted to go over, because even Amy had some questions about the weekly giveaways, the $100 cash. Yeah. So we let everybody kind of settle in practice week. So it's this week that we started, last Sunday. I explained it. I gave dates in the email and everything. Last Sunday, you took pictures of yourself. This Sunday, you'll take pictures of yourself and measurements, and then you'll email those in on Monday, and whoever has the best results wins the $100 cash. Now, you want to keep sending in the steps and the shred tracker if you don't want to be eligible to win the cash. You still want to send those in on Mondays, the shred tracker and steps taken, if you want a chance to win the Oura ring. So that's where that is. And then if you took pictures during before pictures for the whole before and after in practice week, that's fine too, for the grand prize cash giveaway. So don't forget to refer to that email when you're wondering about all the different giveaways. But Monday, you're going to email for the Oura ring and the cash prizes.
Correct. And pictures were taken on Sunday, the 24th of September, and they will be taken again on October 1st.
Yeah. And one of the reasons why we're doing this is the people that take selfies who get to a point where they get frustrated, they go back to the selfies and like, oh my gosh, there's a big difference. So it's partly forcing that for you to take pictures, and we're incentivizing you with money.
I can remember thinking my legs personally looked longer.
Oh, yeah.
Because they got toner. Thinner.
Well, you got more muscle, less fat, so less volume, less mass. We have a shredder right now. In 6 months, like, her results are incredible. Oh, yeah. And she's only like down to like losing 2 pounds, but her measurements and her pictures that she sends us
she's completely transformed.
It's pretty amazing.
It is.
And this is funny because
she sees it.
Yeah. And her neighbor owns a Haagen-Dazs franchise.
That's right.
And when they can't get high school kids to fill in different work shifts, she'll help her neighbor for free, it sounded like. And she's like, and I'm still losing being around all that ice cream.
I'm like, how did you not tell us this before?
Yeah.
I'm like, if you can do that, you can do anything.
Yeah. She's like, this really works. And so she's like, I've learned how to get, like this,
the scoop
of the ice creams into her macros.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Priorities.
That's right.
And dedication. She's been very consistent, which is exciting.
Always the name of the game is consistency.
That's the topic I want to talk about here in a moment.
All right, go ahead.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so this is coming from James Clear, Atomic Habits.
Yep.
Blinked for a second. All right, so just a little bit of a snippet. That's kind of my word of the week. A little snippet here from James Clear. What separates elite performers from everyone else? Not perfection, but consistency. This is why the most important thing is not to prevent mistakes altogether. I can tie this into homecoming. Can't prevent all mistakes. No. But to avoid making a mistake twice in a row. All right? So errors are part of the process, but they should not become part of the pattern. And I wanted to
I like that.
Really point that out. One mistake, he said, I'm going to share a little bit more. One mistake is an outlier. We talk about that. That happens sometimes with scans.
Yeah.
For various reasons. But 2 mistakes is the beginning of a pattern. Killing this pattern before it snowballs into something bigger is one reason why learning how to get back on track quickly is an essential skill for building good habits. And in that case, if you're just like, I don't even know what to do, go back to the shred guide. Absolutely message us. We'll get you back on track.
Back on track.
Back on track.
Speaking of,
yes,
you all saw that we have a new 1-800 number to help keep you motivated daily. We can receive text messages back there, but that is not where you're to ask us specific questions. Use our personal cell phone numbers when you want to text us questions about the shred and you need that one-on-one attention. But that 1-800 number that you're getting text messages from, that's for like reminders about the live or finding us on the YouTube or giving you motivation and tips and tricks and things like that. So
we've decided, emails are great. And if you know what you're looking for, you can find them and read them. But if you are overwhelmed with them like I am, text messaging is the way to go. It's the fastest, most efficient way to communicate. So if there's like a reminder about us going live today and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love the system. Thank you for setting it
You're
up.
welcome. You're welcome.
She's so tech savvy.
We're always looking for more ways to hold you guys accountable so that you are successful. And
that's what we want.
Yeah. So we had to find a system that would work for us and eventually will integrate with your online academy.
Very cool.
Yeah. So we're getting there. Baby steps.
Had some questions this week. I'm going to dive right into some consults. Good?
Yeah.
About carbs in general, but tracking net carbs or total carbs. This came up multiple times.
Yeah.
We are tracking total carbs, not net carbs. And in your MyFitnessPal directions, it talks about turning off exercise and turning off net carbs. You've got to make sure you've done that.
Yeah, and so it used to be, I guess we need to spot check it because I feel like MyFitnessPal is always checking. But in the free version, you don't even have the option to turn on the exercise or net carbs. So if you're using the free version, you don't even have to worry about it. It's done.
Yeah.
But it's when you get into the premium version, which we do recommend the premium version for multiple reasons. That's when you have to look and be careful and make sure you have those things turned off.
We had a client, this was last week actually, that message, she was tracking net carbs and overeating and her body was so inflamed, like she was just trying to eat more. And anyway, it was a difficult learning experience. But
she was tracking net carbs and not total.
So that is not recommended.
No. And so I explained to her, I had gone to my in-laws for a week and I just let myself eat whatever and just... Really, it was a long weekend and just relax a little bit with macros and food. And I was telling her when I cleaned up my eating just for 48 hours, the next night I got up to go to the bathroom 4 times. And I knew that at first I thought the second time, third time I was like, oh, it's because I'm not overeating carbs. And so my body is finally losing all the water retention. Yeah.
And like you say, water follows carbs.
Yeah. So it makes you heavier, it makes you inflamed. But she said she noticed the same thing after I shared that. She was going to the bathroom more and just her body was trying when she caught her error. So it happens, but she'll never make the error again.
I did have a consult with someone who we talked about, some people like to go cold turkey. We did not recommend cold turkey with stopping caffeine, those kind of things. And some people kind of ease in, kind of focus on one thing at a time. Both of those are going to lead you to success. But we had a client that was really feeling the detox of, 3 weeks of travel and carbs and alcohol, and then bam, nothing. And feeling extremely terrible, actually. So what would you suggest in that case? Make sure you hydrate, make sure you move, but maybe shift a little bit. Eat some carbs,
Yeah, just take it gradual.
Not so extreme.
Yeah, not so extreme. We also had someone that we're figuring out might have like a blood sugar issue.
Yes.
But we also figured out that she had given up caffeine at the same time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and what was ironic is we had just gone over, don't try to do all these things at one time. Your body's going through a lot of changes.
Yeah.
We had someone just join after the fact who's like, I've lost 30 pounds, I'm plateauing. And then she got into our academy. She's like, oh, this makes sense. I've only tracked calories, never macros.
Huge difference.
So here's my point. We want you to follow our macros that we send you exactly if possible. But like with this one client, we have a little bit of blood sugar issue. So what we need to do is gradually to see if it's, if we can get through it. I'm asking her to shift some of her fat or protein into carbs and then take the same percentage away from protein or carbs, if that makes any sense. So you guys need to reach out to us if you're feeling anything like that. I don't think anyone else is. And in fact, this is the first person we've had in a while.
Oh yeah, it's been a minute. To have two, it had been a while since this happened.
And what I explained to her is that at the end of the day, it is your calories that matter. We don't want to overeat. We have a deficit built in. But being able to hit your protein macro will it's easier to be successful because protein burns more calories just in digesting it, the thermogenics of food. Protein is more satiating and keeps you feeling full longer, which is so important when you're in a deficit. We want you to be set up successfully to feel full. And then 3, you've got to have the protein to preserve your muscle. So with that being said, we always want that protein to be there to make it easier for you, but you can still be successful if there's a medical reason why we have to back off of one of your macros. We had someone who was having some gut issues that had to back off carbs recently, so it works all ways. And I said this in Empower today too, when I was teaching. This becomes a system of learning how to be in tune with your body. John and I say that quite a bit, too, we know if we're off just even a little bit, like something going on. So really, in this health journey with Master My Macros, it's about learning how to tune into your body. I will tell you this though. I lost 7 pounds since May, right? And this week, my husband's like, you really should try to put on muscle. So I tried to up my calories.
Okay.
I let myself have ice cream this week, and I had some almost every day.
Okay.
Holy cow, the inflammation that I never knew.
Your body got used to it.
Ice cream caused me. Well, what's so funny is Anne, when I lost the 7 pounds, she's like, I bet a lot of it's inflammation. I was like, maybe not. But the experiment this week, well, it's kind of bridged in a week. The ice cream's gone. I'm not bringing it back in the house because I realized
you don't feel good.
I don't feel good, and I'm so inflamed. It is weird. Literally gained 3 pounds overnight, and I did not overeat calories. I didn't necessarily hit my protein goal, but it was such a good experiment for me to make that mistake.
Well, you eliminated it
for a long time.
Introduced it to your body to see how you respond. That's interesting.
Yeah. So, on vacation over the summer, I had ice cream, but once, on vacation, and then I had once at my in-laws. But I had it over a couple of nights, in a row here. And I think that's what my body was like, ooh. So it was a really good mistake. It was a really good error for me to learn because I never realized just how bad my body responds to ice cream.
That's interesting.
It was very interesting.
Because you love it so much.
I do love it so much.
It'll make you think twice now.
It will, for sure. So maybe I can actually, so far I've kept the 7 pounds off. So hopefully I can still keep it off because usually ice cream's my downfall. And so I went to the store 2 days ago with Ellie and we loaded back up on fruit.
Much better choice.
The mixed berries, it helps me.
Whole foods.
Yeah, Whole foods. That's right, awesome. Not processed. So anyway, cool. Sidebar.
I had a question this morning. We had this in person. And she's like, guys, just can't eat all this food. And I was like, we're going to have to start eating earlier in the day with what you're doing right now. And she's like, oh, but I intermittent fast. Should I stop that for now or widen my window to eat? And the answer is yes. So you can get your food in.
Yeah.
You got to start earlier in the day within an hour of waking so you can really rev up your metabolism and fuel your body. Now, as we decrease macros, you could decrease your window if you wanted, right?
Yeah.
Of eating between a certain time and, starting at a certain time and stopping at a certain time. So I just wanted to kind of shoot that out there.
Yeah, now's not the best time to be intermittent fasting.
Not if you've been under eating and you're introducing more food into your body.
Yeah.
A couple of my FitnessPal things I wanted to show, and because we're using my phone, I'm gonna have to show you on my laptop. We'll kind of try this. All right, a couple questions here. Let's just see if you can see them. Okay, so in this view, I was pointing out that when you are in my FitnessPal and you're actually looking at my FitnessPal, right, I can't figure out where I'm pointing. All right, right where the arrows are, if you touch it, literally touch your screen, my FitnessPal will change from tracking in percent to grams, or the other way around, grams to percent. You want it in grams. It is easier to plan your day in grams. Could you see what I was doing?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to show you that. What else did I want to show you on my FitnessPal? If you haven't friended us, reminder, it wasn't working for a while. Be sure to make sure
so we can look at your diary if you need help. Yeah. I get my haircut this weekend.
I'll come back.
Chop. I look at my hair and I'm like, when did it get so long?
I just had mine trimmed.
I know. We go to the same person. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
We're the same person sometimes.
HIIT workouts. This is an interesting topic. All right. If you're overdoing HIIT workouts, that can raise your cortisol. And raising your cortisol is an enemy when it comes to hormones. I think that's probably as simplified as I can get. And that is where we would recommend, you can still do them, right? But maybe really focus on shifting to your steps, right? You want to move throughout the day, and also strength training. And you set a nice reminder about strength training. It's not supposed to be easy lifting weights. You're supposed to be actually lifting your heart rate up because you're working hard to actually tear those muscles so they can rebuild and grow.
So being in fitness for as long as I have been, and being a personal trainer, seeing people that are always in the gym lifting weights and their body never changing. And it's because either number one, they're not lifting with intensity, they're not pushing themselves hard enough. And I explained to this one client, like, when I do legs, I am sweating, I am out of breath by the time I do my last set of an exercise or last rep in a set. It sucks. Like, I don't look forward to it because I'm like, oh, leg day is so hard. I'm breathing heavy, I'm sweating, but that is part of the process in growing muscle. And then you have to get your nutrition right. Yeah, for sure. So I think a lot of people probably don't lift correctly. And that's where personal trainers come in handy, if you can find a good one. Gotcha. Because I think a lot of times you tell yourself, oh, I'm lifting heavy. And then you bring in a personal trainer, you're like, oh. And I'll tell you, like, getting back into lifting heavy with John, I am just now getting to the point where I'm really pushing myself with weight. It took me a month. I gradually got into it. And he can see, like, oh, yeah, I see you loading a lot heavier weight. And a lot more exhausted after my workouts.
That's awesome.
With him. Yeah, it is. It's good.
Fun bonding time.
It is. And that's really why we do it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's good. That's all I got.
I know. I don't have much either. So we try to keep these short and brief, especially because we were late. I apologize. Facebook did the weirdest thing to us, but
thank you.
And that's another reason why you never know what happens with social media. People getting hacked, and remember when Facebook went down?
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's why now there's 3 phone numbers that we have to get a hold of you guys, and email. Only other thing I wanted to go over, which if you've read the Shred Guide, the client I was talking about saying I've only tracked calories, not macros. How do you suggest getting my protein in? So first of all, if you don't plan your day, your meals the night before, you're setting yourself up for failure. Otherwise, you're just tracking what you eat during the day, and then you're at the end of the day and you're like, oh shit, I got 50 more grams of protein I need to eat.
Not gonna happen.
If you plan what you're gonna eat the day before, then that won't happen.
Start early enough, finish at least 3 hours before you go to bed.
Yeah, that's a big one. But what I told her, just in case some of you haven't gotten there yet, go into MyFitnessPal and program in your meals all of your lean proteins first. So your egg whites, your meats, chicken, fish, beef, your lean meats, any kind of lean protein, you want to program that in first. Then you want to program in the things that have maybe fat and protein, or carbs and protein. Like quinoa is carbs and protein. An egg, a whole egg, is protein and fat. Yeah. So then you go and program those things in. right? Because that's going to help boost your protein as well.
Yeah.
So between
cheese, that would be me.
Yeah, cheese for fat and protein.
Yeah.
So let's look at your protein after you program those two things in. You should have hit your goal. And then you round out planning your all carbs or all fat macro items to hit those two macros. So plan one at a time, and that will set you up for success as well.
Very helpful information.
Yeah. So trying to make these more brief as we go.
Yep. I can send you guys sample days. I have a little questionnaire I ask you. What do you like? What do you don't like? Do you have dietary restrictions? Send me your macros and calories. Boom. I send an example back to you. So let me know if you want something like that.
Yeah. So other than that, just review if you hopped on late the beginning of the video that talks about the giveaways, the weekly $100 giveaways and the Oura ring giveaways and what you need to do, because all of that has to start being submitted on Monday,
October 2nd,
as you roll into week 3. Yay.
And keep your macros the same.
Yeah. Week 3, we'll keep the macros the same. Look for the text message. We'll send a reminder.
Love it.
Yes.
All right. That's awesome.
All right.
Well, have a wonderful weekend.
Yes. Love you.
Mean it.
Mwah.